Memphis, Tennessee, the place to be tonight in the world of distance running. It's the 4th annual Ed Murphey Classic right here in the Bluff City. And tonight at Tom Nix Stadium on the campus of Christian Brothers High School, we've got another huge event lined up for you this evening in distance running. Over the last 4 years, the Ed Murphey Classic, well, they've handed out more than 18 grand in prize money. We've seen Tennessee soil records, we've seen local records, always a premier event in the Southeast in the world of track and field. And it's all named after this man, one of the greatest all-time distance runners in the proud history at the University of Tennessee in track and field. Ed Murphey, a multi-time SEC champion, an All-American. Tonight, some of the sport's best will run in his honor. We've got some excellent sponsors tonight, some excellent races, big names. You don't want to miss it. Stick with us. The 4th annual Ed Murphey Classic coming up tonight from Tom Nix Stadium in Memphis. Brownsville, Tennessee native Ed Murphey came to the University of Tennessee, where he lettered in cross country and track from 1954 to 1957 and left as one of the all-time greats to race for the Big Orange. He was a 3-time SEC outdoor champion in the mile, taking first place from 1955 to 1957, setting an SEC record in 57 in 4:14.8, along with an even more impressive 4:11 indoors. He was an outdoor track and field All-American in 1956, finishing 6th in the 1,500 meters at the National Championship meet with a school record time of 3:52.5. That performance qualified Murphey for the Olympic trials, and there he came within 1/10 of a second of duplicating his time, finishing 7th in 3:52.6. The mission of the Ed Murphey Classic is to empower Memphis youth to pursue healthy lifestyles through track and field, keeping our kids on the right track. In the process, we want to give youth athletes in the Memphis area an opportunity to experience a world-class track and field event and help grow the sport of running via Memphis Youth Athletics. In addition, through youth and community races, Memphis athletes can compete in the event in a program scheduled prior to the professional races. We hope that this unique opportunity will inspire the youth of Memphis to pursue healthy and active lifestyles as they chase their dreams to one day also become world-class athletes or performers.
You know, it's really an amazing event to be able to call this the 4th year. And all the guys that have worked with me, Billy and Max and Nick and everybody, all you guys have been fantastic to work with. And it's really an honor and a privilege to carry on the tradition for my dad, Ed Murphey, and to make this thing be as big and as amazing as it can be.
Perfect. Where did the idea of this start?
You know, I was invited to the Ed Murphey Award. So 2 of my dad's best friends, Phil Taylor and Mike Cody, who were interviewed earlier today, they met me at the University Club, asked me to come over to the University Club 4 years ago, and said in 2 weeks we're gonna have a mile race. We're gonna bring some pros in town to break the 4-minute mile, and we want to call it after your dad, Ed Murphey, the Memphis Mile. And he said, "Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Man, I'm so in. Be totally honored." Memphis has got a great opportunity. Let's take full advantage of it and see where this thing can go.
The 2020 Murphey Classic also dedicated to Christine Yaya Futris, Christine Murphey's grandmother, who recently passed away.
You saw your dream car online, and you bought it online. Too bad you couldn't hear it online. At City Auto, we've got a gazillion cars on our website and in person for you to see, touch, smell, and hear, including the one that's just right for you. City Auto. Start online. Finish in person.
So now we want to tell you more about Memphis Youth Athletics and one of our excellent sponsors tonight, McCurdy Train. Take a look at this feature.
How you define impossible can set you on a path of success or on one where you never even make an attempt. 66 years ago, it was a known fact that sub 4 minutes in the mile was impossible. All but a handful believed this to be true simply because it was never done before. How silly to everyone else they must have seemed to even try. How pointless all the workouts and the hours they spent wasting their life. Yet on May 6, 1954, one man redefined impossible when he broke the 4-minute barrier. And yet 6 weeks later, impossible fell again. There are those in your life that tell you that your dreams are invalid and they're never going to happen, that they are impossible. But I tell you this, it's time to throw away impossible.
So we're here with Coach James McCurdy. He is the founder and owner of McCurdy Trained. You know, what is McCurdy Trained for those that don't know? I know what it is because I'm in the running community, but some might not know. Help us.
Sure. McCurdy Trained is a collective of coaches from around the country. We have 27 coaches, and we serve athletes of all ability, from brand new runners looking to complete their first 5K to professional runners looking to make their way towards the U.S. Olympic team.
You know, what's the magic behind McCurdy Trained?
We don't do anything that's pre-planned. Everything we do is geared towards the individual, meaning we want and we need good communication between the athletes and the coaches, so we have a good understanding of the realities of how an athlete feels day to day, so we know how to adjust their training appropriately for that specific block into the entirety of that season for the goals that they have.
What is the difference? What sets you all apart from the other online or other private coaches people can look for?
There's a lot of really good companies out there, folks who really take care of the athletes that they serve. And I like to think that we're up there with them. We have coaches that are incredible leaders that have a passion for service and development of the folks that they work with and of their own skills as a coach. So that's one of the things that we really take pride in, is developing that personal communication, that personal relationship with each of our athletes, so they know that they have someone that they can trust that will help them get them to where they want to be. Whether you're an adult or whether you are a youth athlete, we want to take that individualized approach to help you succeed to achieve the goals and maybe even beyond what it is you thought possible. For our adults, many athletes are looking for that Boston qualifier in their marathon, and they never even thought it was possible. But sure enough, 18 months later, they're on the starting line of Boston, which is pretty cool. This past season, we had over 300 athletes qualify for the Boston Marathon.
I was going to say, yeah, I was looking at your website before, and I don't know if you have them off the top of your head, but you know, you guys had how many Boston qualifiers, how many Olympic trial qualifiers, how many PRs, you know, do you have those numbers off the top of your head? Because they're pretty impressive.
So we actually had the most athletes, coaches and athletes at the Olympic trials. We had 25 qualifiers at the Olympic trials for the marathon, which I thought was just, you know, it was fantastic. In 2016, we had 0. So to go from 0 to 25 in a 4-year period, that was a lot of fun for me. I had 14 athletes at the Olympic trials, which is a lot of fun to be there and help guide them. And we had some top performances as well. But in terms of Boston, this past year, we had 197 actually register for the race. Wow. Obviously, COVID changed those plans, but we're looking to have well over 400 for 2021 and well beyond that for 2022.
What do you think could be the biggest benefit for youngsters, you know, young kids? What's the biggest benefit if they were to get a part of McCurdy training?
Oh, patience. A lot of athletes want to do all the major serious work straight away. They want to work really hard all the time. And one of the things that we try to prescribe, especially when we are working with younger athletes, is to develop slowly. It's okay to run easy. It's okay to take some time between major workouts and really get that recovery in. It's no different than how we would treat a professional runner. And we want to make sure that an athlete is recovered and prepared before that next session takes place.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate it, and I hope you guys wish you much success, and I hope you, as always, keep running, all right?
Thanks, man. I appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're going to see a whole lot of kids going out there having fun, and they're going to have a blast. You know, I've got kids that have been talking about this race since the beginning of the year when they found out I get to run with the sun down. Awesome. No more heat. So you're going to see a lot of smiling faces. Going to have some fun.
Kids are internally motivated to go out and compete. You get them away from their phones and their technology, and all of a sudden they become kids again. It doesn't take long, especially you get them out here side by side. What do kids typically do if you stick them out in a field? They're going to play tag, they're going to run, they're going to jump. So Memphis Youth Athletics provides a structure for that. It provides races in a safe environment.
Well, my daughter, Morgan Johnson, she's running cross country for her school, Vision Preparatory Charter School. And so this is a way that they bring about athletics into the school, promoting, you know, health and wellness for the children, giving them something more positive to do. And so that's how we heard about this, through the school. So she's running with Vision Prep.
It can be an awesome way to get kids to love school or to have something to look forward to. And then this year really got serious about, all right, let's get a team together, let's get guys out and start pulling this together. And that's exactly what we saw. We saw kids come out and, you know, a reason to come to school, something to look forward to, something to get excited about.
I'm going to run a 2K. It keeps me fit and it makes me feel happier and makes me feel like good about myself.
The excitement of the finish line and coming across that finish line with all these people around there just helps build that self-esteem that a lot of kids don't have.
I just think that this is a really good program, especially schools that don't necessarily have athletic program within the school. They can branch out and do things for their children and also for the community.
It's fun, you know, to see these kids get out here and see their faces after the race. You know, I did it. I ran as fast as I could for 2 miles or 1 mile, whatever it was. Just seeing the look on their face after a race and just the team unity and the bonding and everything like that, it's great.
My name's Tommy Sneed. I'm president of Sneed Insurance. There's a lot of uncertainty out there, and one of the things that we want to do to help you is take one less thing off your plate and give you the peace of mind that you know that at least your insurance is taken care of. But the end goal is hopefully we can build a relationship with you and you see the value in what we do over here at Sneed. We have over 60 years of experience. Through that, we've learned to come up with the best solutions for our clients just through our experience and our knowledge in the business.
You saw your dream car online.
First night out in the new car.
Oh yeah.
and you bought it online to get a fair shake. Too bad you got a wicked shimmy instead. At City Auto, we've got a gazillion cars on our website and in person for you to see, hear, smell, and drive, including the one that's just right for you. City Auto. Start online, finish in person.
First event of the night is going to be the women's 800, our A section, and it is sponsored by Orion Federal Credit Union.
So this is the women's 800 meters, our first event on the track this evening, section 1 of 2. Reload. 3 will be Annette Melcher from Colorado Springs Track Club. Next to her in lane 4, Kenyatta from Hoka, New Jersey, New York Track Club. Kenyatta has the fastest PB in the field at 2:01:68.
So here we go for our first race of the night, the opening section of the women's 800, brought to you by Orion. Annette Melcher is wearing hip number 3, the first of 5 women in this event from the U.S. Air Force Academy. Coached by Julie Benson for Colorado Springs Track Club, a personal best for her of 2:02:32 that she ran back in 2015. Kenyatta Iyebele from Flynn, her birthday today, celebrating 28 years. Coached out of Hoka, New Jersey Track Club, a 2:01 personal best for her, a 2019 outdoor best of 2:03:27. Former Georgia Bulldog Megan Malasarte, Rachel Walters, Molly Shugro. That's the rest of your field here as the women's 800 and the 4th annual Murphey Classic gets underway tonight here from Christian Brothers. So Melcher wearing 3, Iyebele wearing 4, Malasart wearing 5, Rachel Walters wearing 6, and Molly Shugro wearing hip number 7. So Jenna Hinkle from Hoka 1-1 Aggies is going to pace this out in about 59:60. And it's Hinkle, Melcher, and the Bulldog, a 5-time All-American at the University of Georgia, Megan Malasart, right behind her. So pretty stretched out here. Annette Melcher from the U.S. Air Force Academy. She has the second best personal best out of this field. She's in pole position behind Jenna Hinkle, who steps off. Halfway point. And still anybody's race in our opening competition tonight at the 4th annual Ed Murphey Classic. So Melcher out in front here with just about 300 meters to go. And now Iyebele of Flynn, a 2-time finalist at the U.S. Championships and a 2-time All-American at NC State. She goes around the outside. And now Molly Shugro of Oklahoma State, former Big 12 champion at 1,500 meters. She's going to take the lead. 200 meters to go. First race of 4 tonight at the Ed Murphey Classic. And right now it is Shugro, followed by Malasart. So the Big 12 champion for 1,500 meters at 2019, showing that endurance here over the final stretch. You can see the grimace on her face as Molly Shugro, followed by Kenyatta Iyebele. It is going to be all the way to the line, Shugro in our opening section, brought to you by Orion. 2:04:78. So Shugro from Colorado Springs Track Club. 2:04:78. That's 4 seconds better than her personal best so far this outdoor season that she ran earlier this year. Second goes to Iyebele, 2:05:32 for her. Followed by Malasart, Annette Melcher 4th, Rachel Walters 5th. So 2:04:78, 2:05:32, 2:06:02 in 3rd. Followed by Melcher 2:07:51 and Rachel Walters of ATC Elite running 2:09:22 for 5th in our opening section. So there you can see it on your screen, a couple of season bests, and that's a personal best for Molly Shugro, an excellent runner at 1,500 meters, who comes down tonight to the 800 and posts a new career best time, 2:04:78. So I appreciate you watching tonight. Wherever you may be enjoying tonight's meet, we've got an excellent schedule coming up for you. Another section of 800-meter runners, this time on the men's side, coming up in a couple of moments. You've heard a little bit from the Murphy family early in our broadcast tonight. You've also heard from Billy Saveco, who will be talking to the winners after every competition this evening. So we'll wait a couple of moments for him to corral our winner in the opening section
Shugro, who will chat with our trackside analyst, our trackside reporter this evening, the Toad himself, Billy Saveco. 800s and 1500s tonight. We're going to have a section of the women's 800 coming up in not too long. That's going to be in about 20 minutes at 8 p.m. Central Time here in Memphis. Excellent runners set to race in that one. Many of them were in Nashville last weekend for the Music City Distance Carnival, including Sammy Watson, Kayla Edwards, Hannah Seagrave, and Jasmine Frey. You also had Sophia Goriaran, a high schooler who's heading into her sophomore year. That's right, sophomore year at Moses Brown High School in the state of Rhode Island. She ran 2:02.97 a week ago, and she is looking to break the freshman high school record of 2:02.4 run by Robin Campbell back in 1974 tonight on the track here at Christian Brothers High School. So that's coming up at 8 o'clock tonight. And then immediately following the A section of the women's 800, it'll be the A section for the men for 800 meters. Michael Cerruni, Alex Amanqua, James Gilreath, Dylan Capwell, all excellent competitors in that event as well.
All right, here we are with the winner of Heat 1, Molly Sugaru. She just, what was that, a 3-second PR?
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 seconds, somewhere around there.
2:04.78. Did you expect that today?
I didn't really know what to expect. I knew I was fit. I haven't really focused on a fast 800 in a long time, so I really just wanted to PR today.
Awesome. What do you think was the difference today?
From my other 800s?
Yep.
I mean, I'm more fit. It was paced really well. It was a small group on the track, so I don't know, I just felt relaxed going into the race. Yeah.
Perfect. How cool is it this event happened? You know, not many track meets have happened. Talk about that.
Yeah, I'm really thankful. I mean, I've just been up in the air training. We took like a small break in I think April or March, and we've kind of been training all the way through. My coach just assured us there is going to be a race. Just keep confident. Just keep keep training well, and just be ready when the time comes.
All you need is hope to keep you going.
Yeah.
You know? That's awesome. So, what else do you have left this season?
We're racing in South Carolina next week. I'll be racing in 1500.
Okay, what are you looking for that coming off this hot PR?
I don't know. I think the most important thing for me right now is just to focus on competing.
Yeah.
And not times. Just enjoying the opportunity to compete with other people.
Perfect. Tell me one fun fact about yourself, non-running related. Put you on the spot.
I have a dog named after David Bowie. His name's Bowie. And he has one eye that's kind of like different color.
Oh, that's amazing. What kind of dog?
He's a mini Australian Shepherd.
Awesome. That's amazing. All right, well, thank you very much, and congrats on the PB.
Thank you.
Yep, cheers. All right, next we're going to head up to Will Bowling in the broadcast for another amazing race. You guys get ready, all right?
You bought your dream car online and had it delivered right to your door. Too bad you couldn't see both sides of the story.
Hey! Hey!
At City Auto, we've got a gazillion cars on our website and in person for you to touch, hear, smell, and really see, including the one that's just right for you. City Auto. Start online, finish in person.
Please welcome John Lewis. Running in lane 7, he's graduated Elizabethtown College in Pennsylvania, has a PB of 1.
Injured? Rehabbing? Need to run more quality miles? Lever Running was built to bring the incredible training benefits of bodyweight support to the masses. Don't get left behind by your competition and start running more quality, healthier miles today. Check out Lever on Instagram and see what lighter miles can do for you.
Men's 800 on the track and ready to go, presented by Alton Blakely Ford. And they'll get going here in just a moment. So the men's 800 presented by Alton Blakely Ford. Brandon Phillips is in lane 3, a personal best of 153 out of Cornell. Lane number 4, Cameron Laverty, formerly a Houston Cougar, personal best back in 2018 of 149.88 to 2019 outdoor best of 150.79. Lane 6 is John Lewis, formerly of Clemson, now representing Under Armour and District Track Club. He's got the best PB in this heat at 147.62. Lane 7 out of Elizabethton College, Division III in Pennsylvania, Michael Twist. And on the outside in lane number 8, the Furman Paladin, Trip Hurt, competing unattached. Personal best for him of 153.63. So from the inside out, it is Phillips, Laverty, Lewis, Twist, and Hurt in the Alton Blakely Ford men's 800, Section 1. So Brandon Phillips, Cameron Laverty, John Lewis, Michael Twist, and Trip Hurt. No pacer in this one, so just those 5 gentlemen with personal bests in the low 150s and a couple of guys that have broken that 150 mark, Laverty and Lewis. Laverty running 149 high, Lewis running 147 3 seasons ago. So John Lewis and Cameron Laverty are going to take this thing out. And they've got a little bit of a gap on the rest of the field. Leading that chase pack is Michael Twist, who ran 154.9 indoors, but it is all Lewis looking awfully strong. And Laverty, the Cougar out of Houston, just right on his back shoulder. About 52 right there, 52.7 for John Lewis, followed by Laverty in 52.9. Brandon Phillips leading the chase pack now in 54.6. But it is Lewis and Laverty running away from the field here in the Alton Blakely Ford 800-meter run, Section A, tonight at the Ed Murphey Classic. So Trip Hurt is going to make this thing a little bit more interesting now, trying to get in that space between the front 2 and the rest of this field. 121.02. That was a 28.3 on that 200 for Lewis. So staying on the pace that he started off at over the second 200, and now Lewis is going to turn on the afterburners. Lewis now opening up a big gap on the rest of this field, looking very smooth over the final 100 meters. Let's look at this time. It's going to be just under 150 by 0.08, or just 1/10 now. 149.9 for John Lewis of District Track Club. He is your winner in the Alton Blakely Ford men's 800-meter run. Right behind Lewis in this field, Trip Hurt with an excellent finish there. Ran 28.5 on that last 200 to get right back in the race. He takes second. In a new personal best, 151.84 for Trip Hurt. And that knocks off his previous best time of 153.63 that he ran at altitude last outdoor season. That's the only personal best out of this field, though. Cameron Laverty takes third in 152.12. Brandon Phillips, your fourth place runner, in 155.31. And Michael Twist rounding out this field with 158.6. in our first of two men's 800-meter races. So women's 800, one heat down and one to go. And now the men's 800 as well. The first of two sections completed. We'll have the fast heats coming up in a couple of moments. Heard from our first winner, Molly Shugro, a couple of moments ago with Billy Saveco. And we are going to go ahead and get ready now for Orion FCU Women's 800, the A section, coming up next.
All right, here we are. John Lewis, winner, the boys 800, 1:49.90. Talk about your race today.
Well, I wanted to get out and just control the race, and just my focus for this race was to finish harder than I have been in the time trial. So.
Okay. Yeah, how nice is it to finally race? Like you said, a time trial. That's way different, right?
Yeah.
Talk about the difference.
Well, the difference is it just feels like it's practice when it's time trial, but when you're actually out there, you're racing.
So how cool is that this event was able to happen and get some competition going?
It was great. We were training year round for a race, and the race finally came.
Cool. You led the whole thing. Is that normally how you like to run, or you know?
Yeah, I'm used to leading. I've been leading since high school. But I've also been trying to learn how to run conservative and run in the pack too as well.
Cool. If you could, I know your PRs. You said 1:47.
Yeah.
So if you could run that race again, what would you have done?
Closed a little bit harder and got out a little bit faster too.
Yeah. Okay. You going through what? 51, 52?
I think like 52 mid.
Yeah. What do you normally go out?
52 low. 51
okay.
high.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
One fun fact about yourself, non-running related. On the spot.
I love doing a lot of community service and giving back.
Hey, very awesome.
Yeah.
Very awesome. All right, man. Well, thank you very much. And
thank you.
Good job. Yep.
Have a good one.
Cheers. All right, guys. Next up, back up to Will Bowling in the booth for some more Ed Murphey Classic swag.
So if you're enjoying this live stream, maybe you'd like to donate, help out the Ed Murphey Classic, you can do so via Venmo right there on your screen at Ed Murphey Classic. Make sure you get that EY at the end of Murphy. Help out the race and help make it even bigger and better for the 2021 edition this time next year.
Hannah Seagrave, New Balance.
Perfect. So, you're really close to breaking 2. Is that one of the goals, or you just want to run a fast time and win?
I'm chasing that sub 2 right now, so pretty close, but yeah, we're just trying to take every opportunity I can.
Perfect. What are some things that need to happen for that to happen?
I think just sticking with the sticking at the front there, being with the pacer, making sure we're on time and everything goes smoothly. You're not jostling with anything, just fast running.
Cool. So this is semi-close to home, somewhat, right?
Yeah.
How cool is that it's in the same state you were used
to? Yeah, it's been good. It's been really nice. Obviously, we got on the road last week and stopped at Nashville, and then it's actually my first time in Memphis. So it's been nice to actually see different part of the state, because obviously I'm up in East Tennessee.
One fun fact about yourself, non-running related.
Oh, you put me on the spot. I never get asked that I'm English. Everyone always says, are you Australian or South African?
But you're English.
I'm English, yeah.
All right. Anything else you have to say?
I'm just looking forward to racing. It should be another one. And just thank you for the opportunity down at the Ed Murphey Classic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am Kayla Edwards, and I run for Adidas.
So you've broken 2 once, right?
Yep.
Talk about, that's not an easy thing to do. What needs to happen for you this race so that happens?
It is really crazy to think that in 800 you're running 2 laps, both under a minute. And when I think about the reality, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just such an intense event. But I think really remembering the reality of the race is gonna help me be a better athlete.
Perfect, that's a great answer. COVID's been a big hit on everyone's season, and not just track, but in the whole world. Talk about how cool and important it is that these last 2 meets have happened.
Oh, it's so important. I think that a lot of people were training really hard because they thought the Olympics were gonna happen, and everyone just goes so hard in those years, and I think they're training really hard now just so they have more in the bank for next year. And I think it's just really cool to have an opportunity to race, because I think that's why most of us do it, because we like racing, not necessarily the day in and day out treacherous training. So it's really special, and the fact that people are putting in endless hours to make this happen, for us and the fans, it's super special, and kind of reminds us to not take things for granted, because we're really fortunate to be doing what we're doing. And I mean, I have to preach this to myself to remember that it's like a gift to be out here and being a professional athlete. Thank you, Ed Murphey, and everyone who has put in these endless hours to make this race happen. And thank you, Christian Brothers in High School, for letting us use your track. And hopefully we'll run fast and put on a good show for y'all. Thank you.
Tonight's women's 800 brought to you by Orion Federal Credit Union. One more heat left, and it's going to be an awfully good one. So in the opening section, it was Molly Shugro taking a personal best and taking the win in 2:04.78. That's your time to beat heading into the second section tonight. Reminder again, we've got one more heat left of the women's 800. You just heard from 2 of the top competitors right there, Kayla Edwards and Hannah Seagrave. And then we've also got a men's 800 coming up in about 10 minutes. And 8 gentlemen that are looking for some very, very fast times in the low to mid 140s on the men's side. So a couple of things to look out for in this women's 800, the second section. Lots of elite runners, some excellent challengers at the NCAA level, but you also have a high schooler. Yes, a girl that was born in 2005 is going to run in this race, and she's got a chance to be right in the middle of that pack and chase a record that was set in 1974 for the fastest 800 ever in the United States by a freshman girl. That was 2:02.4, run by Robin Campbell of Eastern High School out of Florida, 1974. Been a long time that one has stood. So Sophia Goriarun is going to be one of the runners to watch for on the outside, wearing hip number 8 in this second section of the women's 800 meters. World leader 158.92, that's Rosemary Almanza. Ran that in Havana, Cuba back in March earlier this year. Meet record is also the fastest time that has ever been run in the state of Tennessee by a female at 800 meters. That was Molly Ludlow back in 2015, running for Saucony here at the Ed Murphey Classic. She ran 159.78. Olympic trial standard is 2:02.5, and of course the freshman high school record, 2:02.4. Sophia Goriarun is going to take aim at that. So let's meet this field. Wearing hip number 1 is going to be Ursula Farrow, a Clemson Tiger, also an LSU Tiger. So something about Tiger rag for Ursula Farrow. Now representing Garden State Track Club, a personal best for her of 2:03.66. She ran that back in 2018. And 2019 outdoors ran at 2:03.81. Julia Reisk will wear hip number 2, representing District Track Club and Under Armour. And she's got an excellent personal best as well, 2:01.99. She ran that a season ago. She's the 2019 NCAA Indoor Mile Champion, representing the Ohio State Buckeyes, where she was a 2-time All-American. Sammy Watson wears hip number 3, ran for Texas A&M, went pro after her freshman season. She was 4th in the 2020 U.S. Indoor Championships, 6th at USA Outdoors, where she ran 2:01.7 a season ago. Got to know her a minute ago with her interview with Billy Saveco. Kayla Edwards will wear hip number 4, now running for Adidas. She was an Oklahoma State Cowboy in college, where she won an NCAA Indoor Mile title back in 2016. Hannah Seagrave wears hip number 5 from Middlesboro. Now calls Johnson City, Tennessee home. Coached by Chris Lane, she has a personal best of 2 minutes, .18. 2019 NCAA champion at 800 and at the 4x4. Jasmine Frey, a Texas A&M Aggie, the NCAA collegiate record holder indoors at 2:69. She will wear hip number 6. Meg Manley of Buffalo, she represents Hoka, 2:01.73 personal best for her that she ran 2 years ago. She'll be on the outside wearing hip 7. And the aforementioned Sophia Goria Run wears hip number 8, just a high schooler, 15 years old. She'll be on the outside of this field. So the plan is to go out at about 57.5 in our final section of the Orion Federal Credit Union Women's 800. It's Farrow, Reisk, Watson, Edwards, Seagrave, Frey, Manley, and Goria Run. So Jasmine Frey, the pacer, she is going to set this thing out in about 57.5. Seagrave is going to sit right on the outside shoulder of the former NCAA champion from Oklahoma State, Kayla Edwards, who's going to take the lead here, 28.7 through 200. So right on pace for 57.5, right around that 58 range for Frey and our elite section of 800-meter runners. Goria Run in the back, looking to run around 2:02. 2:03, 58.9. It's Frey, Edwards, Seagrave, Watson, and Reisk. And Edwards is going to go right with Jasmine Frey right here and try to break away from the rest of this pack. Seagrave, who was second last weekend behind Sierra Brown at the Music City Distance Carnival, she leads that chase pack. Now you see Goria Run on the outside, trying to make some noise in an elite field of 800-meter runners. And look at the fearlessness of the 15-year-old to get right on the hip of Sammy Watson. It's all Edwards out in front, 129.68 with 200 meters remaining in this race for her. Watson, Reisk, Goria Run, and Farrow right behind her. Edwards looking strong into the final 100 meters. Looks like she's going to hold on to this lead with Sammy Watson leading the field right behind her, but it is Edwards getting awfully close to 2 flats. And that's going to be awfully close to her personal best as well. 2:01.12 for Kayla Edwards, 3 seconds faster than her 2019 outdoor time. She's your winner tonight in the fast section of the women's 800 here in Memphis. Sophia Goria Run, we'll tell you about her time first before we tell you about second, third, fourth, and fifth. Goria Run, 2:02.9, 0.5 of a second away from the freshman high school record. But that is a 0.07 of a second improvement on what she ran a week ago out in Nashville at the Music City Distance Carnival. But there's the leaderboard on your screen, personal bests, season bests. There's lots of them to talk about here in the Orion Women's 800. Kayla Edwards takes the win in 2:01.12. Sammy Watson comes away with a season best time of 2:02.41. She ran 2:03.94 indoors. Sophia Goria run third place, a personal best for her, 2:02.9, and boy, does she have an excellent career ahead of her at 800 meters and beyond. Julia Reisk of District Track Club, 2:03.45, a season best for her as well. Ursula Farrow from Garden State Track Club, 2:03.63. That's a career best time for her. Molly Shugro out of that opening section, she takes 6th place in 2:04.78. And Hannah Seagrave just off of her career best time, but still a good run for her tonight, 2:04.82, 7th, followed by Iebeli in 8th.
You saw your dream car online, and you bought it online. Too bad you couldn't hear it online. At City Auto, we've got a gazillion cars on our website and in person for you to see, touch, smell, and hear, including the one that's just right for you. City Auto. Start online. Finish in person.
Well, I guess it's good.
Here we go. What up, Kayla Edwards, winner of the women's 800 meters, 2:01. Talk about your race.
The goal was to just go with the rabbit and stay on her. We were hoping to go through in 1:28 and finish strong, but that wasn't the case today. But the goal was to just stay on the rabbit and press the whole time and just practice doing that. So I executed in that way, but just wanted a little bit faster time today, so it's a little disappointing, honestly, for that. But another race is good, and I don't really know what else I could have done.
Yeah, no, the positive is you stuck to your plan. You were right on the rabbit the whole time, So it's still, I think you got to take positive of every race. What did you say that would be coming out of this race?
What
was the positive? Yeah.
Just executing and going with the rabbit, I guess, because it's easy to sit back in a race when I'm trying to win a race, but today was more of a time trial, so I stayed on, So yeah, I think it's good. I don't always go in the front.
Yeah.
I've been doing that a little bit more this year, but yeah, it's good to practice different things.
Perfect. So, or what are you going to race next? Are you doing an 800 or a 15?
I think we're going to try a 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to in that?
I'm trying to run sub 4:05.
All right.
But my PV is only like 4:10 from college, so a PR should be pretty easy. But I'm an NCAA mile champ, so I want to be good in the 1500.
Perfect.
Yeah.
When you're said and done, if you got to pick, what would you say you want to be? An 800 runner or a 15 or miler?
If I had to only choose one?
Yeah.
Probably an 800 runner because it's only 2 laps.
Yeah, that's easier, but you just said yesterday in your interview it's like a really hard and grueling race.
It's all hard, but I mean running 64s or faster for 4 laps is not easy.
No.
But it's fun.
All right, cool. Thank you very much, and I think we'll talk to you next time, all right?
Yeah, sounds
cheers.
good.
Yep, cheers. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, guys. That's it. Next, we're going to go up to Will Bowling in the booth, and I think we're... Joining us today, we have James Gilreath, who is represented by Team Green Running. He's run 146 in the 800, and he's run 46 in the 400. All right, here we are with another hometown hero, Memphis, Tennessee, baby, James Gilreath, 800 specialist. We're here with him today. James, how you doing?
Awesome. Ready to be in Memphis, man.
That's right, ready to come back home. So, you just had a nice race in Nashville. You won your heat. What's it feel like to be racing again?
It feels great to be racing. I mean, with all the uncertainty behind the pandemic and everything, we didn't know if this was going to happen, but we just kept training despite that. But ready to go, man. So happy.
Awesome. We're excited for you this weekend. So we'll start with when did you start running and why?
I started running when I was 9 years old. My older sister ran track, and I was at a track meet with my dad, and he bet I couldn't beat the other boys in the 100, so he went and signed me up immediately.
Oh, I love that. How'd you do?
Well, actually, it was pretty good. I think that year I might have gotten like 3rd or 4th in the county, and then just kept going from there.
Awesome. What were your best times in high school? And wait a minute, let's tell everyone, what high school did you go to?
Bartlett High School, BA 07. But yeah, I ran the 400, 800. My best time in the 400 was 46.6, and 149.9 in the 800.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Where did you go to college, and what did you learn most from that?
I went to Baylor University, and I think what I learned most is that time goes by quickly. You had to make the most of your time. You had to make the most of your time there.
That's right. It does. It flies by. Best time of your life.
Right.
So how long have you been running professional, and who do you run with right now?
I've been running professionally 8 years, which to the point about college flying by, that's double the time I was in college, which is crazy. And now I run for Team Green Running. I have been running for Team Green Running since I got out of college.
Awesome. So, this is your hometown, Memphis, Tennessee. What do you think a meet like the Ed Murphey Classic means to the youth runners in the area?
Man, it means so much. It gives them a model. It gives a vision that youth runners can see, so they can see, like, this is where I want to be. I want to be able to do this. And even to know, like, that track outside of the Olympics exists. That meets like this exist, so it's really huge for youth in Memphis.
That's awesome, and it's cool that you get to kind of represent your hometown, right?
Most def.
Awesome. So what's one tip you have for the youngsters out there that want to be the next James Gilbert?
Always be learning. Like, just be curious about the sport. Learn, be a student of the sport, be a student of just everything. Just watch other athletes that you enjoy watching. Like, look up the best athletes in each event and just learn and study them.
Awesome. So you told me this last time, but what's one fun fact about yourself, non-running related?
I'll give you a different one this time.
Okay, what we got?
I'm like a book nerd. I love reading, so I try to read as many books as possible all the time.
Awesome. Favorite book?
Favorite book, The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill. Most people know about Think and Grow Rich, but my favorite one is Law of Success. It's better.
Awesome. How many books would you say you read in, a year or so? And I know it probably varies.
Last year, I think I got about 30 or 32. But this year, probably a little less.
Awesome. Anything else you have to say to the hometown of Memphis? This is going to be on TV stations, so.
Cool. I'm just ready to be back. I'm ready to be home and competing in the city that I love, that I grew and it became a part of me, and I'm a part of the city. So I'm ready to be back.
All right. Thank you so much, man. Good luck. We're looking forward to it.
Thanks, Billy.
Yep. Cheers.
Second section of the men's 800 coming up in a couple of minutes. Want to remind you once again, it's brought to you by Alton Blakely Ford.
Eidos Ibadine, and I run for Under Armour and District Track Club, and I'm running the 800 meters.
Track is back, baby. Talk about how cool that is to actually be racing again.
Man, it is a big sigh of relief. I'm so glad to be racing again. Just with the uncertainty that was going on and just the anxiety of whether we will race or will not race. And so to finally have the green light go on some of these track meets, it's very exciting, and I'm just really happy to just be out here.
Awesome. So domestic races, United States, a lot of people have to go overseas to run fast. We're trying to make that happen in the United States. How important is that for the development of the sport?
This pandemic has shown people that, hey, the U.S. should put on more elite level meets like the Diamond Leagues and all that stuff.
That's really cool. Also, last year, I saw you in Music City Distance Carnival. Talk about, what's the magic of Tennessee?
Yeah, Tennessee is a great place. I don't know what it is about here, but Tennessee is a great state to run track meets in. The Music City Distance Carnival was great atmosphere. This meet last year was awesome. I took 4th here last year, and I'm hoping to get the W this year. And yeah, the state of Tennessee is just amazing. People are really friendly here, and people just love running out here.
Perfect. What do you need to do to make sure you take the dub?
Man, one thing I need to make sure I do is finish strong. Finish strong after a hard first lap. I know the first lap is probably going to be pretty quick, and I have to make sure that I'm relaxed, coming home, and just finishing strong.
I'm Eric Sawinski, and I run for the Brooks Beasts. Yeah, we've got the Ed Murphey Classic coming up on Saturday in 800 meters against a pretty solid field. It's my first time here. I'm excited for it.
Awesome. With all that's going on with COVID, how important is this meet to you and everyone else that's watching and running?
Yeah, it's huge for me to get some races in. I think bigger than anything to show that, safe track and field events can be put on in the United States. Dave and his crew at Music City did a great job, and Max and his crew have done a great job here in Memphis. So yeah, I think it's just big for the sport to show that we can showcase track and field in America with all the things going on right now.
Awesome. So what are you looking forward to in the race? What are the expectations? What are you looking to get out of this?
Yeah, I had my first 800 in 6 months last weekend. So more so just try to get out hard and just see what I've got in the tank. I love to race. I haven't been able to do it a ton this year, so I'm just excited to get out there and test myself against everybody else.
So I think someone put up, Dave Monty put up a fact. What was that?
It was all the 800s I've run in my career, and the number of, I think I ran sub 147 in Nashville, so I think it was my 87th sub 147 of my career. So we're approaching career 800 race number 200. I don't think I'll get there this year, but hopefully next year.
You talk about the domestic races. How cool is that for our sport and just for our sport in the United States?
Yeah, I think it's cool. Especially now, people have to be creative with how it's presented. How you can display it to everyone. So I think that the more means that we're able to do that, I think that it's a greater audience being able to view these races. There's a lot of light on us in these races. I mean, with a lot of sports not going on, there's not a lot of track going on. So it was huge for me to just be able to take advantage of these domestic competitions and just put myself out there.
And turn it tough into a positive. I think this will maybe raise the production of track and field events.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, all of the events that have been put on have been spectacular. I mean, I've tuned into the big friendlies in Portland, some of the virtual meets that people have been doing, and I think that it's really innovative, and I'm hoping that people appreciate that and see what people are trying to do for the sport to bring it to the next level.
Next up, we got the 800 meters, baby. That's my favorite event. That's what I ran back in the day. I'm running out of ideas though to pump up everyone for the meet. I might need some help. I don't know what to do.
Did I hear 800 meters?
Oh my gosh. Who is this? This is the 1972 gold medalist in the 800, Mr. David Waddle.
How you doing, Billy? Good to see you. I think I can help you out. Why don't we go on in for a second?
Let's check this out.
Hey, Billy, come on over here. Have a seat.
All right, what do we got here?
I want to show you something. I'm going to show you a race in which this hat was in the race. You won't see it anymore. They don't allow anybody in the Olympic Games to wear hats in anything under a marathon.
All right.
But I'm going to show you this race here.
What do we
Before I
got?
show you the race, got to give you a little bit of a background because it's 800 meters, your event.
Yeah.
And I loved it, but I love the mile more. I was always a miler. I was a half miler, 800 meter man for only about 2.5 months in my whole career. Outside of that 2.5 months from the AAU meet in June of '72 to after the Olympic finals, I was an 800 meter man. Outside of both of those, I was a miler in the NCAA, AAUs. I always ran national championships in the mile.
3:53 in the mile, right?
Ran 3:53 against Prefontaine back in '73. So here we are. This is just the beginning. They're introducing everybody. The heavy favorite in the race they introduced him first, was Yevgeny Arjanov. He was undefeated in championship competitions for 3 years prior to the Olympic Games. So he was the favorite coming in. You'll want to watch him. He's got the red jersey on. He stays back. He was also a kicker. And of course the two Kenyans, Mike Boyd and Robert Uku. But when you look at the race, and I fall back right off the bat, they went out very quickly, 24.9, which back then was very fast for 200 meters. In the condition I was in, I simply couldn't keep up with them. So it wasn't a tactical move. That wasn't it. You don't go into the Olympics as and go, I'm going to give these guys 10 meters and reel them in at the end,
Yeah.
It just doesn't work that way. But they started falling off. No one wanted to lead. So they came back in the second 200 meters. So they fall off the pace and allow me to kind of regain contact with the back of the pack. So it became more of a tactical race at that stage instead of just an all-out sprint. I wouldn't have been able to stay with them if it would have been a real fast race like the Olympic trials.
It went through what, 52.3?
52.3. I was probably, high 52s. But I at least had contact. I was able to relax a little bit. You can see Arjunov there. He's third from the end. He's going to make his move with 300 meters to go. Arjunov was a tremendous kicker. He usually didn't kick with 300 meters to go.
Look at this.
He'd usually just wait for 100, 150 meters. It ended up being a tactical error on his part because it cost him. You'll see it at the very end of the race where he just starts running out of steam. I was kind of able to make an all-out move to the outside to stay out of trouble. With about 180 meters to go, I started my kick. But as you can see at the top of the stretch, I'm in fourth place. And if you watch it, I'm just not gaining on anybody.
Oh my gosh.
All the way halfway down, I finally catch Robert Uku. I was able to get on the outside of Boit and run him into the back of Arjunov, and then Arjunov starts to falter right at the end. 300ths of a second.
Did you know you caught him right away, or
I
what?
actually thought I did. I raised my arms when I crossed because, you have that peripheral vision, and Arjunov fell directly over the finish line. So I didn't sense anybody there, and I thought, well, I'd won, but 300ths of a second is just a breath. You don't really know if you won or not. And I can remember walking around trying to congratulate him. No one would pay attention to me. I think Arjunov was talking to Boit, did I get him? Did he get me? And he was he just didn't know. So, and I was walking around in a daze, I didn't know what the heck.
Yeah, you look shocked in this.
Kind of a country bumpkin, I'm 22-year-old from Canton, Ohio. Don't really, I really wasn't ready for the world stage, and you could tell, obviously. So I never knew Napoleon Dynamite could run in 800 meters.
Yes!
I tell people it wasn't as much a kick as much as people were coming back to me. And then, we practiced those leans at Bowling Green all the time. It paid off.
Oh my gosh, that was incredible. I'm sitting here with a living legend.
Thank you, Billy. But hey, enough of that though. I appreciate your comments, but let's get back to the Murphey Classic. We got a great field in the 800 meters coming up.
It's going to be amazing. I can't wait.
Can't wait to see it.
So great stuff there from Billy Sveko. Special thanks to everybody that's caught up with Billy this week. He's been a busy man. Talking with James Gilreath, Theodos Ebedine, Eric Sawinski, and a local legend, Dave Waddle. The Hat himself right there. Really good stuff. So from talking about a legendary 800, now we're going to hope for an equally exciting finish in the second and final section of the men's 800-meter run, brought to you by Alton Blakely Ford. So let's take a look at this section. First, remind you again that the time to beat, 149.9. It was John Lewis in the opening section who got the win in heat number 1. All these guys come in with personal bests around 146 and better. You've also got the collegiate record holder, Michael Cerrone, a minor from University of Texas, El Paso. He will headline a field of excellent men, and let's meet him. Hip number 1 is Dylan Capwell, running for Atlanta Track Club, a 6-time All-American from Monmouth University, a personal best for him back in 2015 indoors of 146.7. You met James Gilreath moments ago, a Memphis native representing Bartlett High School right down the road. He was an All-American for Baylor University in the 4x400. Now he runs for Team Green Running and has a personal best of 146.7 in the half mile. Alex Amanko wears hip number 3, a 2016 Olympian for Ghana and an All-American for the Crimson Tide at the University of Alabama. Now running for District Track Club, his personal best back in 2017, 144.8. Hip number 4 is the aforementioned Michael Cerrone, the NCAA record holder at 800 meters, the 2018 NCAA outdoor champion, former world record holder for 600 meters indoors. His record, 143.25 that he ran back in 2018. Eric Sawinski wears hip number 5, a 5-time All-American representing the Iowa Hawkeyes. He represented his country at the World Indoor Champions, got the bronze medal back in 2016 with a personal best of 1:44.58. Idos Ibadin, formerly of Hampton University, the Nigerian national record holder in this event, ran in the World Championships back in Doha in 2019, running for District Track Club. He ran his personal best earlier this season, 1:44.81. Robert Downs wears hip number 7. Personal best for him of 1:46.46. That was last outdoor season when he took 8th at U.S. Outdoors. And the pacer, well, you don't see this very often. It's the guy that won the first heat, John Lewis. On the outside, he's going to try to take this field out in 50.5. And a reminder again that he's got the time to beat out of the first section, 1:49.9. So as they start from inside out, it's Capwell, Gilreath, Amankwa, Saruni, Sawinski, Ibadin, Downs, paced by Lewis. So Michael Saruni looking to make it 2 straight wins at 800 meters in back-to-back weekends in the Volunteer State. Tennessee soil record 1:44.68. That was last year out in Nashville. Wesley Vasquez. So watch out for that mark as well. Capwell, Gilreath, Amankwa, Saruni, Sowinski, Ibadin, Downs, and Lewis. One more section of the Alton Blakely Ford men's 800-meter run. They are out quick. They are quick guys. Let's see how quick they can run here tonight. So Gilreath, the local lad. Right behind Lewis, it's going to be Robert Downs who's going to get the pole position after 200 meters, 24.4. They are moving in the opening 200 meters. Little bit of a trip right there, but Capwell stays up despite just nicking the hip of Robert Downs. So Lewis, who won the first section, is going to pull off here, and it is Downs followed by Ibadin. Saruni in there as well. Still anybody's race, though, with half of this 800 down and another quarter to go. 50.93 for Lewis, so just a little bit off the pace, but still not far at all. And now Ibadin is going to take the lead down the backstretch. Alex Amankwa from the University of Alabama on his right shoulder, but it is still Idos Ibadin, maybe leaving the door open on the inside. Now he gets closer on that rail. 1:18.56 with another long turn and a straightaway to go. Here they turn for home. It's Ibadin, Amankwa, Downs, Sowinski in the mix. Anybody's race with 100 meters to go. And now swinging around to the outside is Robert Downs of Texas A&M Kingville. Can he chase down Alex Amankwa? It's not going to be enough time. Amankwa to the line. He takes the win in the 800. There's the time, 1:46.67. Alex Amankwa, just 0.5 of a second off of his 2019 season best. A great race for him with a nice final surge there, 27.93 in that final 200 meters. Robert Downs takes second tonight in 1:46.98. He ran 1:46.4 for his career best last outdoor season. So, again, not far off at all. And when you consider everything these athletes have gone through in 2020, that is certainly no small task. The collegiate record holder, Michael Saruni, doesn't make it 2 wins in 2 weekends in Tennessee, but still a nice finish for him in 1:47.15. Eric Sowinski, 4th tonight in 1:47.35. And Idos Ibadin of District Track Club, he rounds out the top 5 in 1:47.78. So John Lewis with a 1:49.9 in the first section. He takes 7th, right behind the hometown kid, James Gilreath, who ends up 6th overall tonight. So in a couple of moments, we'll hear from Mr. Amankwa with Billy Saveco doing a great job keeping us informed and chatting with these runners after the races. Still got 1,500s to go tonight. That's all we have left. It's already flown by tonight at Christian Brothers. And lots more fun left tonight from the 2020 Ed Murphey Classic. So we'll hear from Alex Amanqua coming up in a moment, as soon as he gets down there to chat with Billy Sveko.
Did I say 800? I meant 1,500 meters. So the next event in the track is 850. It's Linden ×2 Brave Like Day for women's 1,500 meters.
You saw your dream car online.
First night out in the new car.
Oh yeah. And you bought it online to get a fair shake. Too bad you got a wicked shimmy instead. At City Auto, we've got a gazillion cars on our website and in person for you to see, hear, smell, and drive, including the one that's just right for you. City Auto. Start online, finish in person.
4th annual Ed Murphey Classic tonight. If you want to help us out, maybe you're enjoying the stream, you've liked seeing one of these finishes from your favorite runner, show your appreciation via Venmo. I know you've got it. I've got the app. You've got the app. You know how to use it. Now we want you to put the EY and make sure you spell it right. At Ed Murphey Classic. Let us know if you're appreciating the stream tonight and help us out via Venmo. Let's head down to the track. Alex Amanqua is alongside Billy Sveko.
Yo, what's up, guys? Billy Sveko here with the winner of the 800, Alex Amanqua. Some know him as that. In Alabama, they call him Nana, baby. That's right. You know, Jenna Fatika, hello. That's my neighbor.
Hey, Jenna.
How you guys doing? Talk about your race, man.
You know, it was a good race. I think the time was a little off, but I'm happy with the win. You can never complain with a win. But it's just good to be able to compete with a group of guys who are all very talented. So it's good to see that and get a win.
That rabbit went out pretty hot, you know, right? Were you expecting that? Is that what you wanted?
Yeah, I was expecting that. But I've been working on being more relaxed the first half, so I wasn't too wrapped up in getting to the front so quickly. Just kind of building, and me and my coach have been working on that, being more composed and relaxed.
Good, that's important.
So it was expected.
You just made a strong move. That was a heck of an actual race, you know? Again, you might not have got the time you wanted, but that was a heck of a race. It went all the way down the line. Robert Downs, Eidos, you were right there.
Yeah, Eidos is my teammate, so we're always competing with each other. Every day in practice, we're pushing each other, making each other better. So, you know, you guys have never seen this, but we're like this every day in practice. You know?
I was just going to say, how nice is that to have, you know, your district track club? There's a lot of good 800 runners in there.
It makes such a big difference. You know, like, I know as a runner, sometimes you have days where you're just kind of sluggish or tired, but when you know the next person is right on your heels, like it brings that extra motivation, and we all push each other, try to make each other better.
That's you know, your team becomes a family, and I think that's what you guys got down there, you know? When one's falling down, the other brothers pick you guys back up.
It definitely is a family. Like, I have nobody to thank but God and my coach and my teammates, because without them, like, I'm not here, you know?
Yeah.
It makes everything better and everything easier for me.
Awesome. So, Amanqua, how many letters is your last name? Helen Slister, the winner of the 1500 last year, she said no one has more letters than her in her last name. She has 16.
It's definitely not that long. I think like 7.
Okay.
But you know, it's all good, man.
Cool, man. What's up? Anything else? What's next for you?
We're still trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
With COVID happening, everything's all in for a loop. But you know, we'll see how things go within the next couple of weeks.
Anything else you got to say to the cameraman? Come on, this is live on YouTube, baby.
Yeet.
Yeet.
If anybody wants to play me in FIFA or 2K, holla at me. I'm ready.
What's your name? What was your?
Chalk33.
Hey, yo. All right, brother. Nice to see you again. Roll Tide, baby.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. All right, guys. That's it from the winner of the men's 800, Alex Amanqua. Next up, we got some wicked hot 1500s. It's going to be crazy. And you're only going to find out here at Murphey Classic. All right, Will. Take it away, baby.
Joining us today, we have Lauren Paquette, who runs for the NAZ Elite Group, sponsored by Hoka One One. She owns personal best of 409.86 in the 1500, 847 in the 3K, and 1514 in the 5K. All right, Lauren Paquette, when and why did you start running?
Oh, I started running when I was 17, when I was a junior in high school, and I really started because my cross-country team needed an extra girl to score points at the state championship, and there were only 5 people on the team and one was sick, so they called me in because I used to be fast in mini Olympics. So that's really why, and then I just fell in love with it even though it was really hard.
What a team player. That's awesome. What were your best times in high school?
Oh, in high school, I'm not sure about cross country, but I ran 2:20 for the 800, 5:10 in the mile, and 12:25 for 3,200.
All right. Where did you go to college, and what did you learn the most from that?
I went to Baylor University out of Waco, Texas, and I think the biggest thing I learned from it, because, well, there are a lot of things, but just because I was a relatively new runner, I'd only run for about a year in high school, I just learned how to compete and just cultivated a sense of confidence that I could keep progressing every year and keep up with people who'd been running for way longer than me. And then I learned how to do all the little things right, like sleeping well, that I needed to keep up with nutrition, etc. So
Perfect. Taught you a lot about life. So how long have you been running professional, and who do you run for?
I just currently joined the NAZ Elite Group, sponsored by Hoka One One. And so I'm currently training in Flagstaff, Arizona right now with all the other NAZ Elite runners. So
That's awesome. Incredible.
Go Hoka, go NAZ.
Yes. What do you think Ed Murphey means to the young runners of Memphis?
We're trying to instill that if they work hard and just give it all that they have, that maybe they can make it that level one day too, if they're so inclined. So yeah, just trying to like build the youth up and just let them know that like they have it in them as well, because every one of us started out where they were too.
Exactly. Inspire them. Dreams are possible. Make them come true. That's awesome. What's one tip you have for young runners out there they want to be the next Lauren Paquette? What are you telling them?
Man, I would say just, you got to have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously. Like, work hard, but make sure that you're thinking more about just like getting other things out of it than just PRs and wins, like cultivating friendships, learning how to be a team player, like establishing good relationships with people. That's what I would say has been the most gratifying thing for me in the sport. And also just for them to not be afraid to ask questions if they have them, which, no question is out of the question, I guess. Like, everything is important, and just start small, dream big.
That's it from Lauren Paquette, hometown hero, Memphis, Tennessee, training out in Flagstaff. You're amazing. Thank you so much, and good luck.
Thank you, Billy.
Bye.
Bye.
My name's Tommy Sneed. I'm president of Sneed Insurance. There's a lot of uncertainty out there, and one of the things that we want to do to help you is take one less thing off your plate and give you the peace of mind that you know that at least your insurance is taken care of. But the end goal is hopefully we can build a relationship with you and you see the value in what we do over here at Sneed. We have over 60 years of experience. Through that, we've learned to come up with the best solutions for our clients just through our experience and our knowledge in the business.
Injured? Rehabbing? Need to run more quality miles? Lever running was built to bring the incredible training benefits of bodyweight support to the masses. Don't get left behind by your competition and start running more quality, healthier miles today. Check out Lever on Instagram and see what lighter miles can do for you.
Up next in our meet schedule in about 10 minutes, it is the Brave Like Gabe Women's 1500. It's brought to you by Linden x2.
Yo, what's up, guys? How you doing? We are here. Special guest. We got Des Linden, Ryan Linden here. If you guys don't know, Des Linden is the 2018 Boston Marathon champion, two-time Olympian. He tears it up in the long distance. So, Des, I guess we're going to start with a couple questions about, in 2018, you became the first American woman to win the Boston Marathon in 33 years. What did that mean to you, and how did that change things?
Yeah, I mean, super exciting, just day in general, but 2011, I was really close, and then to have that goal just hanging out there for so long, it was incredibly gratifying. And I think everyone in distance running knows, you just have to put in work year after year, and you hope you get that big moment. But going left on Boylston and running down that stretch and having Josh, my agent there, who had supported me through so much, this guy right here with his signature mustache, and he had this iconic buffalo plaid hat on with our brand new coffee company that we had just launched. And so, it was a big moment for me. It was a big moment for him and us as a team, but also for that coffee company too. Things just really blew up, and we were rewarded for a ton of hard work, and then we were super busy after that.
Absolutely. So lots of runners like coffee, but few of them have companies. What was the motivation for you guys to start that?
Yeah, I wish I could take credit for it, but I think it started with Ryan using an air popper popcorn machine in the house, and I'll let him tell the story.
Yeah, I think, no, definitely we started with the air popper in the house, roasting small little 50-gram batches at a time, trying to kind of get it figured and dialed in. But I think it was led to more from the years of Des and me racing and traveling around the world to races, and always sought, looking for that perfect cup of coffee, and finding some unique spots each time. And after Air Popper, I think we can do something with this. Let's make our own company and see what we can do to get good coffee to everybody around the world.
Awesome. What's the magic, or what's the motto behind your guys' brand and your coffee?
Linden x2, and honestly, I think it's just kind of a passion for that perfect cup, and it just pairs so well with running. We can talk about it pretty genuinely and authentically, because we have gone all around the world and looked for that cup, and then figured out what we liked. And in terms of the branding, it's just kind of sharing that with people, the process, and getting them to want to be a part of the adventure.
What have you guys been up to during COVID, and why did the company choose to sponsor the Brave Like Gabe 1500 here at the Ed Murphey Classic?
Yeah, I think everyone's kind of reeling right now and trying to figure out what to do and how to train and the whole thing. And we're obviously included in that with big major marathons being taken off the schedule. But what we can do is keep giving back, and we see these people kind of coming together and figuring out how to make events happen safely. And if we can chip in a little bit of money or our time or anything that we can do to help out, we're all for it. So that was the first thing when Ed Murphy came to us, the Ed Murphy Classic came to us. It was like, oh, this is a fantastic opportunity. And the tie-in with Brave Like Gabe was just so natural, her being a Brooks athlete and someone I truly admire. The 1,500 meters in the U.S. right now is on fire, so this is going to be an absolutely fast, exciting, just hot event. And so, having our name associated with that was fantastic. And I think Ryan can talk a little bit about what else we're doing with the coupon code and maybe a charitable donation.
Yeah. So we have a coupon code for everybody. That'll be good for 10 days here from the race till 10 days after for 15% off all our single origin coffees. And then we are going to donate part of the proceeds from the sales over the next 10 days of the event to the Brave Like Gabe Foundation to support a great cause. So.
Awesome. All right, guys, it sounds incredible. I can't wait to try some of your coffee, but wait a minute. How do I use this discount code?
Head on over to our website at coffeebylt.com, and at checkout, use code FAST1500, all capital letters, to receive 15% discount on all single origin coffees.
Like we said, portion of that is going to be going to the Brave Like Gabe Foundation, which is an incredible thing. So it's helping you, it's helping the sport, and it's helping life in general. Thank you guys very much.
Gabe Grunwald, a professional runner and rare cancer advocate, founded the Brave Like Gabe Foundation to inspire people to share stories of being brave through their own struggles, while also helping to find better and more effective treatments for rare cancer. Brave Like Gabe started as a hashtag to support professional runner Gabe Grunwald as she sought treatment for her third battle with an incurable rare salivary gland cancer in 2017. Gabe passed away last summer, and tonight the 1,500 meters named and raced in her honor.
Helen Schlachtenhofen, and I run for Saucony.
You won last year, the defending champ. Do you think that adds like a little chip on your shoulder? Does it make you feel more comfortable coming back?
I mean, I definitely think like whenever I have a good race, it makes me feel like an attachment to that track. So like I'm pretty excited to race here again. Maybe adds a little bit of pressure from the standpoint of like I want to win again. But yeah, mostly it just makes me more excited. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a really fast track last year. It was also a great race, and like the weather, even though it was very humid last year, I think it kind of like lent itself to running some fast times. So hopefully do that again.
Cool. What do you think? Like, obviously this is a virtual year, but how important is that there is a meet that a lot of people are put on dual meets. So how important is it for the track community and just the athletes themselves that they actually get to travel and come to a meet with other athletes from other groups?
I think having a real meet is huge. Like I think this is like what the sport is really all about. So even if like our competition has been definitely like limited this year, having at least like a couple opportunities to really like face up against people that like you don't know what they've been doing all year, like I think that's a really cool thing.
Talk about what that kind of homey feel is to a meet. It might not have it this year, but talk about how that I guess how that rates up against other meets, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I had just like a really, really great experience last year and like have such great memories, not just from the race, but like having dinner with everyone the night before. It did feel like there was like a huge community sense, and like that was really cool to me, and like a cool thing to be a part of, and like I think that is part of what makes running like a unique sport as well, so yeah.
Cool. One fun fact about yourself, non-running related. I think I asked you this a little bit.
This is my go-to fun fact. I probably gave you this one before, but I've never met anyone with a longer last name.
How many letters?
16. Hey, Mom.
Sierra Brown, and I run for Hoka.
I think people always, not mistake, but they think you're only an 800 runner, but I've seen from a couple things, even just from rabbiting, you're pretty strong. What do you think it's going to take to prove that to some of the other people out there?
It's going to take a 1,500 race to prove everyone that I'm just as strong in the 8 and the 15.
Cool. So you're with a new group now. Do you want to talk about that a little bit and how excited you are for a new change of pace?
So a few months ago, I transitioned into a new group. Right now I'm with Coach Derek and Ajay Wilson, of course, and Sam Watson. So lately it's been really good training with them. They're two strong competitors, and so I feel like it's been a great change for me, and I fit well with the group.
Is there anything different about these races? You know, this is obviously COVID, so talk about kind of the positives of that this race is actually happening, you know?
You know, I'm really happy that these races are happening because, you know, half the year we've been sitting in the house and just watching repeats on TV, so I'm really happy to come out and finally race again. So I'm glad Ed Murphey is putting on this race for us, even during this tough time.
Yeah. Favorite song, favorite pre-race song?
Favorite pre-race song? Nipsey Hussle, Hustle and Motivate.
All right. Thank you so much. Good luck tomorrow.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Now it's time for the Linden x2 Brave Light Game Women's 1500 on the track and being introduced to an empty Tom Nick Stadium tonight by our MC Dave Milner here in Memphis. So let's meet this field. It's Yolanda Garambe, the Swedish indoor mile national record holder who wears hip number 1 running for Atlanta Track Club. Hip number 2 is Helen Schladenhofen from Dartmouth. She's run the second fastest ever 1500 on Tennessee soil. That was this time last year at the 2019 Ed Murphy Classic, representing Saucony Freedom Track Club. Lauren Johnson wears hip number 3 from NAIA Huntington, also played basketball in college. She has a personal best of 4:04:17. 11-time All-American from Villanova, Emily Lapari wears hip 4, a 4:05:68 personal best back in 2018 for her. The Music City Distance Carnival 800-meter champion, Sierra Brown, an All-American from Hampton. She ran in the World Championships in Doha last year. She wears hip number 5. Megan Mancy wears hip 6 from Hoka. 4:08:22 is her career best time. She ran that 3 years ago back in 2017. 4-time All-American at Notre Dame, Danielle Aragon wears hip 7. 4:09:03 back in 2018, her career best time. Dana Mecke of UTSA wears hip number 8, running now for Colorado Springs Track Club. Personal best at the 800 for her, 2:76. Ayla Granados from D2 Chico State. She wears hip number 10. 2019 outdoor season best 4:13:42 at a full mile for her. The Arkansas Razorback, Taylor Werner, a 6-time All-American, 4th at the 2019 NCAA Cross Country Champs, 2nd in the 5K, 4th in the 10K at 2019 NCAA. She wears hip 11. Gabrielle Jennings, still at Furman, where she's a 2-time All-American, a 9:47 steepler. That got her bronze at the 2019 NCAA meet. She wears hip 12. Trisha Terry of TCU wears hip 13 with a 4:19:88 mile personal best for her that she ran last year. Alicia Douglas of Adams State wears hip 14. Brianna Stratz, I beg your pardon, I'm one off here. Brianna Stratz of Monmouth will wear hip number 14 from Atlanta Track Club, a 4:30:49 personal best for her. And rounding out the field, wearing hip 15, Lindsay Putman from UT Arlington, now running for Colorado Springs Track Club. And an addition into this field, Kayla Edwards. You saw her win the 800 moments ago. She's back. Personal best of 4:10:46 for a mile. And the rabbit will be Jasmine Frey, the former Texas A&M Aggie. So the world leader is 4:02. That's Carissa Schweitzer of Bowerman Track Club. Ran that back on July the 21st. Meet record was set last year by Helen Schladenhofen at 4:03:59. And that is just shy of the Tennessee soil record. Second all-time in the volunteer state behind Mary Decker Tab. 1982. That's a record that has stood for a long time. Maybe it's time to see a Tennessee soil record go down tonight. 4:03:37. That's what they're going to be looking for in order to do that. Olympic trial standard for these ladies, 4:06 point. And lots of women that are going to be right in that range based on their personal best. So looking for Schladenhofen from Dartmouth and now Saucony Freedom Track Club. She wears hip number 2. And Yolanda Garambe, the Swedish indoor mile national record holder with a personal best of 4:03:43. That's the best, career best, out of this field. So Jasmine Frey is going to pace these ladies through 800 meters. The goal is 2 minutes, 10 seconds. So looking around 68 is what Dave Milner said on the track moments ago. That was around a 65, so that is pace for that 2:10. Schladenhofen, Lipari, Johnson, Brown, Garambe. That's your top 5 through the opening quarter mile. So Frey setting a steady pace here out in front in our Linden ×2 Brave Like Gabe 1500. What was originally the Ed Murphy Mile becomes the Ed Murphy Classic. And that allows us to run 1500. Schladenhofen, Johnson, Lipari. It's going to be Johnson with the slight advantage with 2 laps to go in this 1500. Jasmine Frey, she'll step off the track here at about 50 meters. And she's going to be right on schedule. Brings them through in 2:10. That's what she was tasked to do. She did it to virtual perfection. It is Lauren Johnson of Adidas who leads Emily Lipari and the 800 winner in Nashville last weekend, Sierra Brown. Garambe, Aragon, Mancy, Werner, Edwards, Jennings, all in the mix here with 600 meters remaining here in this 1500. Lauren Johnson, a 4:04.17 career best for her. She ran 4:08.2 the 2019 outdoor season. Her season best, 4:10.31. Running on the inside now, Lipari. She's going to take this thing at the bell. Quarter mile to go here at the Ed Murphy Classic in Memphis, Tennessee. And lots of ladies with a chance to run some pretty quick times here in the final 4. Schladenhofen now is going to go to the lead, followed by Lipari, Garambe, and a little bit of a gap, and then Aragon and Mancy. Schladenhofen, last year's champion, looking to make it 2 straight victories here on the track at Christian Brothers High School. 4:03.59 a season ago, second all-time ever to run a 1500 in the state of Tennessee. She's 200 meters away from making it back-to-back here in Memphis. And she is looking awfully strong. Moving into the lead at the right time with a 67.5 third lap. And now she is putting a gap on the rest of this field. Schladenhofen, Garambe, Johnson, Aragon. They come for home, and it is all the big green from Dartmouth and now Saucony Freedom Track Club. Helen Schladenhofen all the way to the line. What's better than one win? Back to back. 4:08. We wait for the official time, and there it is. 4:08.39. 2 straight for Schladenhofen of Dartmouth and Saucony at the Ed Murphy Classic. .4885 in that final 300 meters. Couple of season bests, one personal best here in our top 10. But a really excellent run there right at the end of that race from Schladenhofen. So she takes the win in 4:08.39. It was Emily Lipari of Adidas who was our runner-up. Good finish from her as well. 49.92 in the final 300 to take second in 4:09.75. Garambe rounds out the top 3 in 4:10.03. Season best for Danny Aragon of Hoka, 4:11.25 with a 50.87 final 300 meters. The Arkansas Razorback, Taylor Werner, rounds out the top 5 in 4:13.57. Mancy, Jennings, and Johnson in the top 8. 2 personal bests, one for Gabby Jennings of Furman Elite in 4:14.61. And then Lindsey Putman, the other personal best in this field, down in 11th place in 4:28.92. So there's the complete list right there in the Linden ×2 Brave Like Gabe women's 1,500 meter run. We will hear from Helen Schladenhofen in just a moment, as our crew will corral her, get her to chat with Billy Saveco, who's standing by. We'll take a quick break and hear from our winner coming up as you watch the Ed Murphy Classic, 4th annual, right here at Christian Brothers.
Injured? Rehabbing? Need to run more quality miles? Lever running was built to bring the incredible training benefits of bodyweight support to the masses. Don't get left behind by your competition and start running more quality, healthier miles today. Check out Lever on Instagram and see what lighter miles can do for you.
My name's Tommy Sneed. I'm president of Sneed Insurance. There's a lot of uncertainty out there, and one of the things that we want to do to help you is take one less thing off your plate and give you the peace of mind that you know that at least your insurance is taken care of. But the end goal is hopefully we can build a relationship with you and you see the value in what we do over here at Sneed. We have over 60 years of experience. Through that, we've learned to come up with the best solutions for our clients just through our experience and our knowledge in the business.
One final race tonight. It'll be the men's 1,500 coming up in a couple of minutes. But first, last call for the Venmo account at Ed Murphy Classic. It's as easy as putting in a number, putting in the @ MURPHEY Classic. If you want to help support this meet, if you've enjoyed the stream tonight, let us know. And let us know by sending a donation if you like on Venmo.
Yo, what's up, YouTube Nation? Here we go. Ed Murphy Classic. We are here. Emily Lapari. Would you just run 409?
I just ran 409.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk about your race.
Yeah, so, you know, obviously it's been a tough year for everybody. And I'm just really grateful to have the opportunity to get to step on the line.
Yeah.
I don't want to forget the feeling of being competitive and what it's like to be out there, race execution. So, like, the time, not happy with, but, like, I was happier with my race execution this week opposed to last week. I think I was more aggressive.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously the people who are here, everybody's been training and getting through COVID and, like, working really hard, so everybody's fit. I think it's just a matter of the sharpness just not being there, and like for me it always takes a few races to like get the gears turning.
I think most people practice, you can stimulate a lot of that, but it's nothing like a race, right?
There's nothing like a race that will do it, and you know, I did a couple of time trials with District Track Club, and you know, they were good, but like it's not the same as having 17 bodies around you or whatever. So I'm just grateful to like have races, like lace up, remember how much it hurts, and I'm just really pleased to be injury free. Because last year I missed the whole spring season because of it. So I was really hungry, and like running the 5K indoors, I was really excited to dip my toes in a different event. And so overall it's just like being really grateful that people are providing a safe environment and we get to race in.
I think in the end of the day, that's all.
That's all that
it'll
matters.
come, right?
It will come.
You got
and
races,
like,
you're healthy.
Yes.
It's so hard nowadays. So.
It is, and you know what? It's really fun to see like all of my track friends again.
Yeah.
The people who you only get to see at races, and you pick up where you left off last summer, and I think that social part's really fun that we've all really missed.
It's the best part of the running community.
Oh,
you
it's
know?
the best. I
Yeah.
had so many people through this community I've met and I totally adored, and it's been fun.
Perfect. Anyone you want to say hi to at home? I think we have like 15 seconds left.
Oh boy! Hi family! Hi husband!
Yay!
Yay!
All right, guys. Next up, we got, last but not least, the Ed Murphy Mile, or the Ed Murphy 1500, excuse me. It's going to be hot, and you guys are going to catch it here. Coming up next. All right, Will Bowling, take it away. Thank you.
So one final race coming up tonight at the 4th Annual Ed Murphy Classic. It's the City Auto Men's 1500.
You bought your dream car online and had it delivered right to your door. Too bad you couldn't see both sides of the story.
Hey! Hey!
At City Auto, we've got a gazillion cars on our website and in person for you to touch, hear, smell, and really see, including the one that's just right for you. City Auto. Start online, finish in person.
In track from 1954 to 1957 and left as one of the all-time greats to race for the Big Orange. Beginning in 1965, he returned to Knoxville annually to present the Ed Murphy Award for the most outstanding men's track and field performance. Notable winners through the years have included some big names like Richmond Flowers, Willie Gault, Todd Williams, Lawrence Johnson, Justin Gatlin, Aries Merritt, and Justin Hunter. And tonight, later in the broadcast, we'll also announce the 2020 recipient who represented the orange and white of the Ed Murphy Award. One of the all-time greats from the University of Tennessee and the namesake of our meet tonight, Mr. Ed Murphy.
On behalf of Tennessee Track and Field, I am proud to present Mustaqim the 2019 Ed Murphy Award. Since 1965, this award has been given annually to the most outstanding performer within our program. We're honored to present this award as part of the 2020 Ed Murphy Classic, and we wish the Murphy family the best of luck with their event this weekend. Moose made the most of his senior year in 2019, sweeping the SEC 200-meter titles both indoor and outdoor. He was the first Vol to accomplish that feat since 2007. Moose also won a bronze medal in the SEC 100-meter dash and collected all 4 All-American honors to round out his career as a 10-time All-American for the Vols. In our record books, Moose ranks top 5 in the program history in the men's indoor 60, the men's indoor 200, the outdoor 100, and the outdoor 200. That's an amazing feat in this record books. He will truly be remembered as one of the greatest sprinters in Tennessee history.
Hello, Tennessee Track and Field family. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you, Ed Murphy, for allowing me to be a part of a wonderful Tennessee Track and Field tradition, receiving the Ed Murphy Award. This award speaks volumes in our outstanding history at the University of Tennessee Track and Field program. For me now to be a part of this history means more than anyone could imagine. I am super excited to be a part of this tradition, and may the next Ed Murphy Award winner be ready. Best of luck to those that are competing at the Ed Murphy Classic Invitational. Stay safe, God bless, and go Vols.
Moose, on behalf of the entire Ed Murphy family, we'd like to congratulate you on winning the 2019 Ed Murphy Award for the most outstanding track athlete at the University of Tennessee. What a great career you've had. We're excited about what you've done in the past. We're really looking forward to see what you can do in the future. Best of luck and go Big Orange.
My name is Graham Crawford. I run for Hooker, New Jersey, New York Track Club.
It's your third year here. You know, talk about a little bit of how cool this meet has been the past couple years.
Yeah, the Murphey Classics, I'm lucky to be back for a third time. I've had 2 pretty successful races here in the past, so I'm looking to have a third tomorrow night.
Perfect. So you just missed the trials standard. Tell everyone what that is and tell them, you know, how close you were to that.
Yeah, so last week at Music City, I missed the 1500 trial standard. The standard is 337.50 and I ran 337.6, so that's definitely on the to-do list tonight.
Awesome. What are your goals for the race tonight?
Goals are, I want to run fast. I would say I want to run fast before I'm going to try to win. Obviously both of those go hand in hand, but I definitely want to just get out, get pretty close to the rabbit and let it rip tonight.
So you're coming off of your fastest time in the last couple years, maybe since college you said.
Yeah.
You know, how reassuring is that coming into this race?
It's definitely a big confidence boost. Back during quarantine, I was just putting in big miles each week, and it's hard to kind of quantify your fitness just based off of that. So having a pretty big breakthrough last week and just getting back to where I was a couple of years ago, it's definitely reassuring. I definitely think with track and field being such like a niche sport, it's good to have a more like inclusive feeling around track meets, whether it's like having like younger kids race like the kids 50 or the kids 100, or like having high schoolers get to be in the same meet on the same track the same night as elites. It's like great for them to see, and it's inspiring for the pros too, just to see how high schoolers can leave it all out there. I think it's sometimes pros lose a little bit of that competitive spirit. I really appreciate the opportunity. I thank the Murphey family for putting on this great event for the 4th year now, and hope to be back many years to come.
All right, so time for the nightcap tonight, the men's 1,500-meter run, and it is an excellent field ready to finish off what has been a great night here at the 4th Ed Murphey Classic. Congrats to Mustaqim Williams, the winner of the Ed Murphey Award. Always a great award, a great history of that award, as we've told you about tonight. Justin Gatlin, Christian Coleman, good friend of mine, Zach Long, who ran here last year, another winner. And great to hear as well from Coach Beth Alford Sullivan, building an excellent program out there in Knoxville in the Big Orange. So, I'll tell you a little bit about this field. First, though, the records from the past. Tennessee soil record, well, that was set last week at the Music City Distance Carnival. It was Oliver Hoare, the former Wisconsin Badger, now running for On Athletics Club, ran 3:34.63. Awfully quick last weekend out at Lipscomb Academy in Nashville, Tennessee. Olympic trial standard that some of these guys are going to go after, 3:37.5, as they continue to line up and get ready for this one. So congrats so far to our winners tonight as well. You saw Helen Schladenhoffen in the women's 1500. She got the victory in 4:08.39. In our Linden ×2 Brave Like Gabe 1500. The meet started earlier this afternoon with Kayla Edwards, the former Oklahoma State NCAA champion and All-American, who ran a 2:01.12 to take the women's 800. Sammy Watson was second in that event with a season best, and Sophia Goria run, just a high school sophomore this fall at Moses Brown High School in the state of Rhode Island. A personal best for her as well, 2:02.9, and yeah, she's still just 15 years old. I don't think I was running that when I was 15. Alex Amanqua was the men's 800-meter winner, a season best for him in 1:46.67 in the Alton Blakely Ford men's 800 meters, followed by Robert Downs in 1:46.98. Michael Ceruni, 1:47.15 to round out the top three there. in Schladenhofen, Lipari, and Garambe. In the women's 1500, the top three at 4:10 and better. So just one section tonight of the men's 1500. And the last time that we'll hear a gun go off tonight here in Memphis at Tom Nick Stadium at Christian Brothers High School. Let's go ahead and meet this field, and it is headlined on the inside from Atlanta Track Club by a gentleman who was an All-American at Brigham Young University, a BYU Cougar. And he's got an excellent personal best. Actually ran it indoors earlier this year, 3:36.82. He is Abe Alvarado, 3:41.17 outdoors back in 2018. That was his personal best. And 2019 outdoors, a season ago, ran at 3:44.66. He's also a very talented 800-meter runner, so he'll maybe have the advantage if it comes down to a final kick at the end. He was third at U.S. indoors in the 2020 indoor season for 800 meters. Heard from him a moment ago, Graham Crawford, a former All-American at North Carolina State University. He wears hip number 2, ran his personal best 4 years ago. It was 3:37.08. Tonight he runs for Hoka, New Jersey. An Ohio State Buckeye wears hip number 3. His name is Jake Edwards, representing Columbus Running Company. Ran his personal best last outdoor season, 3:38.77. 2020 indoors en route ran 3:43.03. Hip 4 is Jacob Dumford from Notre Dame, representing District Track Club, a 4-flat mile in 2018 for his personal best. 2019 outdoors, 3:39.91. Casey Nevillebard from Florida State. He competes unattached tonight, looking to match his personal best he ran a season ago of 3:40.3. A Furman Paladin, Ryan Adams. He's hip 6, competing unattached. Adams 3:40.44, so just a tenth of a second off the personal best from Nevillebard. And like Casey Nevillebard, he ran it in 2019. Avery Bartlett from Georgia Tech, now running for Atlanta Track Club. It wears hip number 7. Personal best for him of 3:43.45. He ran it 2 years ago in the 2018 outdoor season. Hip number 8 is Matt Giannino from Rochester Institute of Technology. 3:43.8, his personal best. Ran it 2 years ago back in 2018. Kendall Muhammad from the University of Kentucky is hip number 9, now running for 10-man track club, 3:43.9, his personal best, and he ran that earlier this season indoors at 1,500 meters. From Binghamton, Eric Holt wears hip number 10, 3:44.81, his career best time. He ran it back in 2017 and was 9th at U.S. indoors in 2015. So actually, that's a scratch. Colin O'Mara will wear a hip 10, so everybody will move down. O'Mara from Arkansas, son of Arkansas legend and Irish Olympian Frank O'Mara. 3:46.76, his career best time. Bryce Richards wears hip number 11 from Kansas. Richards, 3:49.53, his personal best. Ran that 4 years ago in 2016. Ran 1:54 indoors at 800 meters. From Texas A&M Commerce, Ricky Romero wears hip 12 from Atlanta Track Club, 3:54.88. His personal best from 2016, ran 4:03 for a full mile 2 years ago. Hip 13, Case Reese from Willamette at a Division 3. Michael Smith is hip number 14. And Trip Hurt will be hip 15. A personal best for him, and I beg your pardon, that is Edward Kimboy. Another change from my list. 2015 NCAA indoor and outdoor 800-meter champ from Iowa State. So Trip Hurt, he will be the rabbit tonight in the City Auto Men's 1500. So looking for Abe Alvarado, Graham Crawford, Jake Edwards. There were hips 1, 2, and 3. 1,500 meters to go in the 4th annual Ed Murphy Classic under the lights at Tom Nick Stadium in Memphis, Tennessee. We are off and running with Trip Hurt setting the pace out in front tonight, 100 meters in. Alvarado, Crawford, Edwards, Dumford, Neville-Bard, Adams, Bartlett, Janino, Muhammad, O'Mara, Richards, Romero, Reese, Smith, and Kimboy. So Trip Hurt, the leader, followed by Graham Crawford, Ryan Adams, and Case Reese. 1, 2, and 3. They're all bunched up. Still anybody's race early on here through 300 meters. Once again, the Tennessee soil record was set last weekend in Music City, USA. A 3-hour drive, about 200 miles from where we sit tonight at Christian Brothers. Oliver Hoare, 3:34.63. That is a tough time to take down tonight. But the Olympic trials standard, 3:37.5. So that's what these men will be gunning for this evening over 1,500 meters. And after a quarter mile, it's Trip Hurt, Graham Crawford, Ryan Adams, Jake Edwards, and Jacob Dumford. 58:01, 58:21, 58:39. The top 3 marks for Hurt, Crawford, and Adams, setting the pace here early on in our City Auto Men's 1,500. So with 2 laps to go, let's see what they come in at right here. Pretty single file, though, as Crawford continues to lead. Trip Hurt still setting the pace as well. Crawford's personal best, again, is just under that Olympic trial standard, 3:37.08, 4 seasons ago in 2016. And he's got a gap with himself and Ryan Adams on the rest of this field. 1:57.89 through 800 meters, a bit slower on that second lap. 59.68 for Crawford as he continues to pace this field. And now it is a gap that is growing. Crawford and Adams, and then Dumford, a little bit more of a gap, and Jake Edwards, Kendall Muhammad, and Casey Neville-Bard. 500 meters remaining, a third of the way to the end. And it is Crawford and Adams. Sounds like a law firm, and now they're going to be partners in the bell. 2:42 with a quarter mile remaining. Let's see how quick these guys can go and see how close they can get to possibly getting under that Olympic trial standard at 3:37.5. On pace for around that 3:40 mark. How quickly is this final split going to be? Look for Abe Alvarado, though, making a little bit of a push. Can he get up to that duo in front, Crawford and Adams? Might be a lot of work to do here late, but right now it is Crawford on the inside, Adams right on his outside hip. When does he make his move? Into the final turn in our final event of the night. Abe Alvarado gunning for the top 2. Graham Crawford trying to hold off the challengers behind him. They turn for home, and it's Crawford, it's Adams, it's Alvarado. Grimaces on their faces. Crawford, he's going to take the win tonight for 1,500 meters right at 3:40. Your winner tonight in our final event of the Ed Murphy Classic. Official time, 3:40.34. Ryan Adams from Furman Elite. He's your runner-up in 3:41.25. But it's a 43.24 final 300 for Graham Crawford, holding off the field in the final straightaway to take the win tonight. But that wasn't even the fastest final 300. Abe Alvarado, you saw him make an incredible push, swing around the outside there in the backstretch. 42.93 for him en route to a new season best of 3:42.43. So he takes third. Casey Neville-Bard from Florida State, 3:43.7 in fourth. Jacob Dumford, he rounds out the top 5, just under 3:44. And he takes fifth. Ricky Romero with a new personal best as well, 3:44.95 for him. He closed in 45.03 in that final 300. Jake Edwards, Kendall Muhammad, Avery Bartlett, Bryce Richards. That's your top 10 as we finish off what has been an excellent evening of distance running under the lights here in the Bluff City at Christian Brothers High School and Tom Nix Stadium. So that's our final event. We'll await our final conversation. And special thanks to Billy Saveco, who's done an excellent job in corralling these guys, in creating some pre-race content as well that you've been watching throughout the evening. Talking to some hometown heroes and talking to some of these runners. We will await his final interview of the night coming up in a moment. But one final call now for any donations to the Ed Murphey Classic. The 2020 meet just now in the books, and now the planning for 2021. It will begin. Don't tell that to Nick Dwyer and Max Paquette yet. They're going to take a breather before they think about 2021. But if you want to help out the stream tonight, if you want to help out these excellent athletes, the facilities here, and show your appreciation for them, at Ed Murphey Classic on Venmo, right there on your screen. Some excellent sponsors helping us out tonight. Want to thank all of the local businesses who have helped made this event possible.
You guys thought we were gone, but no, we are here with the winner of the Ed Murphey Classic 1500. We're talking Kyle Merber. I mean, oh my gosh, I thought it was Kyle Merber with the headband. No, or Colby Alexander, excuse me. But no, it's Graham Crawford. He's new to the headband, but he's winning meet record. Talk about it.
Yeah, the whole plan was to get out hard the first 800, put myself in it, and didn't really anticipate getting right on the rabbit, but kind of played out that way. So I was like, well, I'm fit, might as well take a chance and go with it. And yeah.
You got some new experience leading almost wire to wire. Talk about that.
Yeah, I rarely get out on the rabbit, if ever, and I've also never led a race wire to wire.
Yeah.
So the strength and the fitness is definitely there. It's maybe just a slow night. The air is pretty thick here, so it feels like it's like 95% humidity right now.
Overall, though, win is a win. Like
Win's
you
a
said,
win.
you got a meet record. Are you satisfied, or what are you thinking?
As you said, a win's a win. I wanted to run a little quicker, but it's good momentum going into next week.
Yeah, cool. Talk about how cool it is that these events are happening. Like I said,
it's awesome. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to get out here and race, whether it's fast race, slow race. Like, there's something to learn from every race you get into.
Yeah.
So, you can't sit around on like this year, even during a pandemic. You got to put yourself out there and race if you're fit. So,
yeah.
That's why I want.
They say like stars are born when no one's watching. Literally, no one's watching right now. Like in the stands, we have a bunch of viewers out here. But talk about the difference of the atmosphere, and is that something that some people just need to
I definitely think some people kind of thrive off the crowd in a bigger environment. Honestly, once the race gets going, I don't really pay attention to what's going on around me.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really affect me much. Obviously, I'd love to have fans back out here, create some more energy, but do what you can.
Cool.
Given the circumstances.
So I made a joke earlier. It was a bad joke, but Kyle Merber and Colby Alexander always wear headbands from your group. Talk about why you decided to wear them, because I've never seen you wear one.
Yeah, I guess back during the fall this year, a lot of guys just started wearing headbands in practice, and not everyone races in them. So it's Kyle and Colby's kind of signature thing, but I've been wearing it for all like our really hard workouts, and the race is the hardest workout you're going to do. So I figured I might as well try it tonight, and might become a trend.
Yeah, you think you'll do it again?
Probably wear it next week.
All right, man. All right. Anyone you want to say hi to at home?
To say hi to my dad. He was able to make it out to Nashville last week, but
awesome.
He didn't want to make the trip to this one. Couldn't, so
okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say hi to Moran Simon if he's watching, because we used to always hang out together.
What's up, Moran?
What's up, Moran? All right, guys. I think that was an amazing Ed Murphy Classic, you know?
Yeah, it was great.
It was great. Well, this is your 4th time coming?
This is 3rd time.
3rd time?
Yeah.
You coming back next year?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
As long as you guys have me.
What's your favorite part about this meet on a normal year?
A normal year, definitely the crowd, the atmosphere. It's definitely a different track meet.
What's the difference? Tell everyone that has never been here before.
Just the sense of community, especially when you get the high schoolers out here racing on the same night. It's awesome. We kind of thrive off their energy and their enthusiasm.
Yeah, it's incredible. There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
Nothing like it. All right, I think that's it, Graham.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. New
Thanks,
meet
man.
record, Graham Crawford, baby. Thank you very much. All right, guys, I think that's it. Billy Saveco signing out. Ed Murphy Classic was phenomenal, but next year it's only going to be better. So make sure you guys watch all the replays, watch all the interviews, and tune in next year to the biggest, baddest, and best meet in the United States. All right, guys, that's it. We'll see you next time. Bye.
All right, thanks so much, Billy. An excellent job all week with the interviews and with the winners here tonight. So congratulations again to our winners as Graham Crawford finishes us off in the men's 1500. And a special thanks to all the sponsors who made this event happen. Couldn't have done it without their support. But for all of our crew here at the Ed Murphy Classic, that's going to do it for 2020. On to 2021. We will talk to you next August from Christian Brothers High School. So long, everybody.